channel. So today I have created this look here using the Plouise Mini Love Tapes palette. I give you a review on what I think of this palette and also how to create this look. So if you want to see how I got this, then please keep on watching. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the Plouise Mini Love Tapes. This was my first palette from that collection, but I'm definitely going to be buying more because I've been using this for the last couple weeks or so and I've completely fallen in love. So not only was this video highly requested, but I genuinely love it too, and I think it's a great palette that a lot of you guys are going to love as well. So I thought, why not create this makeup look using this palette and you guys can see what it's really about. So these are the Mini Love Tapes. She has a collection of 4, I think. This one here is called Vacation, and I really want to try Wedding Wish because that looks absolutely stunning as well. And if you're maybe a bride that's doing their own makeup this year, then I definitely check out that palette because it looks insane. Inside the palette you get these 8 shadows which are gorgeous. They're also really big sizes, which I really like, and being a makeup artist, there's nothing worse than like really skinny pans, especially because when you love colours, obviously you hit pan really quickly because you're using it so much. So this is really great pan size that I love dipping into, and it's really easy to get the product on your brush. There's none of this faffing about. They're really creamy, they blend out beautifully, and yeah, there's some great shades in here. Of course you have the 6 matte shades and then you have your 2 shimmers as well. I recommend using your finger if you're going to dip into the shimmers because they just apply so beautifully using your finger. As you can see, it's super creamy, super pigmented and buttery, whereas if you went in with a brush they can crumble a little bit. So definitely always use your finger for these kinds of shades. This palette is only £17 as well, which I think for the pan sizes, for how many shadows there is and for the quality of the shades, it's a great palette. So yeah, I thought £17 was an absolute great price and a great steal, which is again why I'm going to be investing more into this. And Plouise, to be fair, gives back a lot to her customers, so it wouldn't surprise me if she puts these on sale. I know that she puts things on sale quite a lot, so yeah, definitely keep an eye out. I'm not sure if she is, or she has quite a lot of affiliates that you'd maybe be able to get a code off. So yeah, this is an absolute great palette and I can't wait to start creating. So first I'm going to start by prepping my eyes, and I'm going to use Plouise's iconic base. This one is the 30ml, but you can also buy it in the 15ml. If you're a makeup artist, I definitely recommend investing in the 30ml, or if you're a content creator that wears makeup a lot. However, if it's just for yourself, then these do last quite a while, so to be honest you would be fine just picking these up. But this one is 30ml and you can see that it's a big chunky product. I use this honestly all the time. So I'm going to pop about a pea-sized amount on the back of my hand, and I'm going to go in with the Plouise base brush. So this is the brush she actually brought out to go with this base, and I'm going to start by carving out my brows. Now usually when I'd use this product, I'd actually use it before I start my makeup and I would prep my eyes first. However, for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to save time, so I applied my foundation and everything beforehand. So obviously doing this after to show you guys. So usually if I was doing it beforehand, I would pull the base out, I'd pull it right out to here, and then I'd take a buffing brush and really make sure that that blends into the skin so you have no harsh lines and it doesn't look like a mask. But because today obviously I've applied that foundation first, I'm going to just buff over the edges really gently to buff it into my foundation. So I'm just going to be taking this Molly O'Brien brush, and as light as a feather I'm just going to blend it out. And then I'm just going to go over the top with that Molly O'Brien brush and really just make sure that it's all packed into my skin and nice and tacky, ready to apply the shadows. Obviously you can see now the difference between a base and no base. Honestly, I really recommend using some kind of base, even if it's not the P. Louise one, because your shadows will always stand out so much more. I really don't ever go in on just like a naked eye. Even with just a little bit of foundation, I'll always put a little bit of concealer or something, just so them shadows have something to grab to. I'm going to do the exact same now on the other eye. Take this Mimimi Mitchell brush and I'm going to pop it into the Pina Colada shade. I always tap off my excess. As soon as I've popped my brush into the shadow, I will then tap off the excess so that we don't have a big block of deposit that goes onto your eye and that you can blend out much more easily. So I'm going to start right in my crease right here on the outer part of my eye, and I'm going to blend backwards and forwards very gently, just little rocking motions, just so that we can deposit that colour. And I'm also going to pat that shadow on. And you can see that I've already started to create the shape, which is just a little bit of a rounder shape. I am going to take my eyeshadow out today, but while we're building up the base layers and we're going to make it really nice and pigmented, I'm just going to create this shape and then we'll blend out afterwards. So I've just picked up a little bit more of the Pina Colada shade and tapped off the excess. And I'm just going to go over the exact same place and pack on that colour. As you can see, I'm literally going in the exact same place. I'm not going more out, I'm just quite literally building another layer on top of the layer we've just popped down. And just keep going, adding layers and layers until you're happy with the pigmentation. Now you can see that we've created that shape and we've also created some depth to the crease. So now I'm going to take this So Eva brush that's honestly battered and stained again, but it's one of my favourites. I think it's the 226, but it's the Luxe Defined Crease Brush. It's kind of rubbed off on me. I'm gonna dip into the shade All Nighter, doing the exact same thing again and tapping off the excess. Just gonna tickle the very outer corners of that shade that we popped down. So I'm using very light pressure and I'm just using circular motions. And I'm just using my brush 50% on the base and I'm using 50% on that colour that we've just popped down. And I'm just using this method to blend out the edges. Just going back in with another layer of the All Nighter shade. Again, just building up the intensity. But I'm just taking my time with this. I'm building it up really slowly. And I'm using a very light pressure. So now with whatever's left on my brush, which isn't much, I'm just going to start taking that inwards towards the bridge of my nose, but I'm only taking a little bit of whatever's left on the brush, as I want this to be the lightest part of my eye to give us a really nice open eye look today. I'm going to take one more coat of the All Nighter shade. There you can see you have that nice blend. So what's happened now is we've lost the pigmentation of the first shade that we put down. So we're going to go in and we're going to redefine that shadow. I'm going to go back in with that Mimimi Mitchell brush and I'm going to go back in with the shade Pina Colada. So the first steps that we put down. And I'm going to do the exact same technique. I'm going to go backwards and forwards in circular motions, creating that shape, and then I'm going to use packing motions to pack the colour on. Again, I'm just applying a really light pressure, and I'm building it up until I'm happy with the intensity. I'm then going to take that All Nighter shade and I'm just going to dust over the edges again, very, very lightly. So like I said earlier, I actually like a more winged out eye on myself. So with whatever's left on this brush, similar to how we came inwards towards the bridge of my nose, I'm just going to very gently run my brush backwards and forwards just to give me that more winged out shape. I don't want it to be too winged out and too intense, but I just want the edges of the shadow to blend into a upwards point. Then I'm going to take this shade here. This is called Beach Babe, and I'm going to use my fingers to apply this shadow. As you can see, it's the most stunning glowy shade ever. I'm just going to pop this into the centre of my eye, basically on the lid where we haven't applied any of the previous shades, and then in towards my inner corner. Just like that. So you can see that I haven't taken it up too far, literally just the width of my finger. So I've just applied another layer of that gorgeous shimmer shade. Honestly, I think these are beautiful and they just give you the most gorgeous pop of colour. I'm going to go back in with that Mimima Mitchell brush and the same shade as we used first, which is Vitamin C, and I'm just going to go over the edges of where we've placed the shimmer shade, and I'm also just going to redefine the first colour we put down. And then to give that inner corner that extra pop that I think that it needs, I'm going to go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Highlighter, and this is in the shade Snowflake. And I'm going to go in with this Peaches and Cream brush, which is PC47. I know this Anastasia Beverly Hills product is a highlighter, but I love using these as pigments too. So I'm going to take a little bit on the brush and I'm just going to place that right in the inner corner, just to brighten that look up. Okay, so now I'm going to repeat the exact same steps on the other eye. Okay, so for this look I'm going to do a winged liner, and I'm going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex eyeliner pen. Honestly, this has become one of my absolute favourites. I can't pop it down from using it. I usually quite like a normal liquid liner, but obviously pens are always easy, but I've never found a pen that doesn't dry out quickly and it goes on really nice until I found this one. It's so good. Liner, I'm just going to go for something really, really slim, as I'm going to smoke it out in just a second. Now I'm just going to take a angled brush, this one is just by T Beauty, and I'm going to go back in with that Vitamin C shade. All I'm going to do is pat that Vitamin C shade over the top of the liner. I don't want it to be a full smoky eyeliner, but I do want it to just have a little bit of smokiness around the edges. So you can see from this eye to this eye that this one is just a little bit more neat, whereas this one is smoky and it goes into the eyeshadow. I'm now going in with one of my favourite ever paints from Plouise, and this is called Blank Canvas. I'm just going to take this on a liner brush to line my waterline. You can either go in with something that's nude and bright like this one, or you can go in with a brown or black pencil if you want something a little bit more nighttime, or you just like that darker kind of lash line look. So I'm going to go in with a nude shade. These are really good to open and brighten up your eye, and they're also tear proof and smudge proof, which is really good. So they genuinely do last all day, which I absolutely love. So as you can see, that has just given me a little bit more of an open-eyed, brighter look. And what you do to the top, you should do to the bottom. So I'm going to go in with vitamin C, and I'm just going to rock this just underneath the lash line. And this is just going to give us a little bit more depth on the lower lash. And I'm just going to take a little bit of all-nighter on a pencil brush and just very gently blend that downwards. And then with a little bit more of that blank canvas, I'm just going to go underneath the wing and sharpen it up. Just blend that in using my finger. Now the reason I like doing that trick is it instantly gives you that little bit of an eye lift, and it also makes the eyeshadow on the top look that little bit more smoky. So you can see the difference between the two. It really does just lift your eye. If you do struggle with applying eyeliner, then doing this trick afterwards really will help just neaten it up and get rid of any mistakes that you may have made. I'm now going to apply a coat of Perversion mascara. This is by Urban Decay, and it's a really good mascara if you like that chunky lash look. I'm now just going to apply some lashes by Royal Lashes. These I've been loving at the minute, and then I will be back. Okay, so lashes are on, and I've gone for quite a dramatic style today because I was just feeling that little bit of fluff and choppiness. These lashes are absolutely gorgeous. I really recommend you guys go and check them out. So now onto lips. I unfortunately don't have any of the Plouise lip liners, but I do have one of her lip bases. I haven't tried this yet. I've only swatched it for my Plouise haul, so we're going to try this out together and see what it's like. So I've just applied Peaches and Cream's Feline Lip Liner. Now I know this looks really dark, but I know that these are really pigmented and this is a really light colour, so I'm hoping that it's all going to blend in together. So this colour is called Stark Naked. I wasn't wrong when I said that it was pigmented. Okay, so that's what those two look together. I actually really like that combo, and I'm glad that I did the darker lip line underneath because it's just blended it really nicely and took that like harsh nudeness away. And I definitely think that you could maybe not use as dark of a lip liner if you like something a little bit more subtle, but I actually really like that. I'm just going to go over with Fenty Beauty's Fenty Glow Lip Gloss Balm. These are insane if you haven't already tried them. And I'm finally going to finish off with Iconic London's Prep Set and Glow Original Spray. Okay, so this is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I would 110% recommend this palette. Like I said, I've been using it for the last 2 weeks or so and I've been absolutely loving it, and you guys can see how easy it is to blend out all the shades, how big the pans are, how they don't go patchy. They have such a nice range of matte shades, and then we have the 2 pops of colour. I absolutely love it. So Vacation I can definitely recommend. But do check out their other palettes because they have some stunning colours in as well, and I'm definitely going to be buying more, so I can always create more looks using the different palettes if you guys want me to once I've picked them. I do honestly think she's absolutely smashed it with these mini love tapes. She usually does like really big extravagant packaging on her palettes, which I love, but it's really nice and refreshing to see something a little bit more smaller and something that everyone can have in their makeup bag or in their kit. So if you liked this tutorial, then please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you on my next video. Bye guys!